So on the fourth Sunday of Easter, Good Shepherd Sunday, where we talk about how the Lord shepherds the flock, we often talk about vocations, especially vocations to the priesthood. So I would like to tell you a true vocation story today. Once upon a time in the city of Chicago, there lived a little boy named Francis, and he wanted to be a priest. He wanted to be a parish priest. That was his dream. And his parents supported it. They encouraged him and said, son, when you get a little older, you can go to the seminary here in Chicago, and you can study to become a priest here for the Archdiocese of Chicago. And Francis loved it. But then tragedy struck. When Francis was 13, he contracted polio. And while it didn't take his life, polio has that crippling ability, and his parents were right on top of it, got the medication, spent the time with the doctors, but it set him back. It set Francis back physically. He made it through school, though, and when it was time to go to the seminary, he applied because he was all excited, and the seminary rejected him because of his physical illness. They said, "We're sorry, you can't study for us. You can't study here to be a priest." The desire in Francis was so strong. He wanted to be a priest so much that he looked around and he thought, well, if I can't study here, perhaps a religious order would take me. And finally he settled on and was accepted by the Order of Mary Immaculate, the OMIs. Turns out that Francis was a brilliant student, tremendous mind. And so he went through the order. They identified quickly that here's someone who needs to go to school, and he went and got master's degrees and a couple of doctorates. And through the course of the process, they recognized he had leadership potential. So they tapped him to be the provincial. He was the provincial in St. Paul for the OMIs. And then he was tapped to be the vicar general for the worldwide order of the OMIs. So for the OMIs around the world, he spent 12 years in Rome. When that got done, he came back to the States, but he got the attention of the Pope. And so shortly after he returned, he was named Bishop of Yakima, Washington. He was there for a few years. Then he was named Archbishop of Portland. And then, almost 40 years from the day he joined the OMIs, Francis George became the Archbishop of Chicago. He returned to the Archdiocese, where he could not attend seminary to be a priest, as the Cardinal Archbishop. Now, you might look at this and go, oh, I'll bet that was an interesting homecoming. But here's the thing. He's a brilliant man, and I know that he would have done tremendous things in the Archdiocese if he'd have been trained as a priest, gone through the Archdiocesan system. He had all that ability. But it was the unique fact that he was rejected that set him on a path, and that path would define his life and open up new opportunities, new possibilities. God's hand created the way in which Francis could get the training and the experience and the resources and the background. It was because of the actual rejection that he was on a path touched by God, blessed by God, to come back to the place where he had been rejected, to come home as the Archbishop. There's another way to say this. We heard it in the first reading and in the psalm response. The stone that the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. How? By the Lord has this been done. See, the fact is, you and I all know about rejection, obstacles, roadblocks, difficulties. We've all had those experiences when the door has been slammed shut. We know what it's like when suddenly on the path we want to go, there's a great big block, and we got to go a different way. We've all had these experiences. But here's the interesting thing. With God's hand to touch it, those obstacles, those roadblocks, those stumbling blocks, those awkward messes can become construction material. that God can take and God can bless to turn them not into obstacles, but into stepping stones that create a new path, that lead us into places that God will bless, that God will guide and God will guard. Folks, what we learned about in the life of Cardinal George, who, God rest his soul, died last week, can tell us a little bit about how our lives can be directed by the Lord as well, in two profound ways: strength and wisdom. It's often traditional on Good Shepherd Sunday to talk about vocations. So I'd like for a moment to talk about, for all of us who've picked our vocation, for all of us, single, married, religious, priests, deacons, if we've committed our lives to a certain path, said, this is how I'm going to live, this is how I'm going to follow Jesus, this is the path of my vocation, for all of us in that camp, when we find obstacles, roadblocks, when we have those things that are slammed shut in rejection, we pray for strength. Strength that God will help us find our way. Strength that God will help us get over that hurdle, get over that lift. Find, okay, I can't go this way, I got to go this way. Lord, give me strength in my vocation to follow you on the path you set before me. I wanted to go this way, you're leading me that way. I wanted to go there, you're pulling me over there. Lord, I'm asking for strength. I'm asking for your grace to help me take the next step. Because, Lord, I know my vocation. I know how I want to live my life. Give me the strength to do it, and do it with your blessing. Because all of us in our vocations encounter times of rejection. All of us have those moments. But with God's hand, those moments become the stepping stones we need for the Lord to lead us into a blessed place. Okay, that's strength. But for those out there who haven't yet decided their vocation, whether we're talking about kids, young adults, for those who are wondering, Lord, where are you going to lead me? Single life, married life, religious life, priesthood, diaconate. Lord, I need wisdom. Lord, show me your path. Lord, I need to know my way. Lord, I need to know what doors will be open, what doors will be closed. Lord, I need to know, where are you leading me? Where are you guiding me? What's the direction for my life? I could go here, 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 here. Lord, help me. Help me find my path. Help me find my way. Help me to see where you are leading me so that I can follow, knowing that you will take me by the hand, that you will guide me and guard me. Strength and wisdom are always essential when we face the obstacles of life, because God can take those stumbling blocks and turn them into cornerstones. God can take those obstacles and challenges and turn them into blessings. God's hand can touch and guide even the most difficult of rejection and turn it into a profound and beautiful blessing. Friends, today, what's our obstacle? What's blocking us? What are the challenges we face? As we come forward today to open our hearts to the Lord in Holy Communion, may we ask the Lord for the strength and wisdom we need to be guided on the path that the Lord chooses for us, that we can live it with power, we can live it with grace, that we can live it with hope, that the Good Shepherd walks with us and leads us through this life. God bless you all.